too much of a rapid.
Oh my god, there's a snake. Oh, there's a snake. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
It is 7 a.m. and we are here in Southern Oregon. We're here in Grants Pass. Got in really late. Our flight was like 3 hours late. Thank you, Delta. So we didn't get to the hotel till about 2 a.m. And then yeah, we had to get up at like 6 a.m. So this is gonna be real fun. But that is like just the fact of traveling. A lot of times things like that happen. Your flight's delayed and you just have to carry on because you want to go on your next adventure. So we got our rental car and we are gonna start driving. Alright, so we have made it to the Rogue River. We're here at Morrison's River Lodge. We spent the night in Grants Pass at the Riverside Inn. It's actually a really nice hotel. They had breakfast, really friendly staff, and wish we could stay there for longer than 4 hours. So next time we're in Grants Pass, we'll definitely try to stop back there again. But we drove 26 minutes further in to the Rogue River this morning and met up with our guide and packed up our water bags. And now we are parking the car and we're about to depart in about 20 minutes.
Thank you very much. Oh, you're welcome. You guys take care of it.
You guys made it. But this is just so that you know what to do in case of a more extreme situation.
I like that.
All forward. 3 rapids.
So we get up to 3 on this trip?
We get up to 4 on this trip.
I'm gonna find us some poison oak and we're gonna point it out, and then you are going to avoid it like the plague.
So we've been on the boat and we've actually done several rapids now, but we've actually stopped for lunch. It's 11:30 already.
Yeah, this is the Rogue River, which is a protected wilderness, the whole riverbed, I guess. Well, not the whole, but a good stretch. And I read that it's been the case, it's the first such designation of a river. And it's very popular for these kind of outdoorsy excursions that we're doing, and it's a 3-day trip, so we'll be here for a while.
This is our first really true vacation we're doing where we're not having to work, but we did also bring some toys. So we are using the GoPro Hero 7 Black, which is great because it's waterproof. And I do have my Samsung Galaxy S10 in a waterproof case, which is really great for doing photos and videos. And this is the real fun toy. We have a Leica. So we rented a Leica, and do we want to reveal its special power yet?
Sure, it makes sense to do that.
Okay. But it's a waterproof camera, which is just amazing. I think it's the only Leica camera that is waterproof. But it was available on borrowlenses.com, so I thought, why not borrow it and test it out on this trip?
Let's make sure it still works. Yeah, that looks like it works without the flow.
So it does stills and video, 1080p video, a lot of manual controls, which is what I really like about this camera so far. And we'll see if it can shoot some stars tonight. Ooh, and so far, so this can actually shoot at a 1.7, f1.7.
And it's a fixed lens.
It's a fixed lens, that's okay.
That's good. I've never been in a grove made of willows before. I see one at a time normally, 2, 3. So this is the Rogue River Wilderness. And we have gone past the point of no return. There are no roads around us.
Although there is a hiking trail.
So yeah, on the side of the river opposite from us is a trail that goes along it, but other than that there is no access. So we're in a proper wilderness here. That was the designation. It's a stretch of the river where you just cannot develop, and it's good to see that such environment still survives in the USA, and in particular the West and even the West Coast is full of it. So it's one of the biggest reasons to live here, honestly. If you love the wilderness, you have among the best access to it living here.
2, 1, stop. Great, move on. 3, 2, 1, stop.
Right there. Oh, yeah. Okay, wait, yeah. But it is pretty. No.
To our accommodations for tonight. I can't wait to sleep. So it is a little rustic, but again, it has a bed, it has running water, a toilet, and a shower, which is the most important part right now. So here's a large bed for 2 people and a smaller twin bed. And in here we have the bathroom. So toilet, sink, stand-up shower. Perfect.
We won't keep you guys up tonight, okay?
Okay. So we arrived at our accommodations for tonight. We are staying in the lodge, and actually we are so tired at this point that I'm really glad that we're not on a camping trip, because that would just be a lot of work to have to set up camp and do all that extra work. So we're actually going to get a hot meal tonight. I hear that there's pot roast for dinner.
I want to be close to the
Can you do the spatula? Hot hold it because I just picked out of the oven.
Thanks, Mom, for booking this one rather than the camping trip, because oh my god, I love camping, but wow, I'm actually really tired. But yeah, what do you think about that Leica so far?
I don't know the output too much other than the LCD, but so far it's nice because you can submerge it, you get splashed all the time.
It's very scary to do at first because you're like, oh, this thing feels and looks like a real camera. And actually when we got it, someone else it had already been used on several trips, so there was some evidence of that, and that honestly made me feel better, because if it was brand new right out of the box, you'd be like, are you sure this is waterproof? So right as we got to this lodge, the first thing we see again are deer.
Yeah, and they're actually quite in our face here, so let's go take some Leica shots of
they're
deer.
Cute. I think deer are starting to win me over. I don't feel so strongly against deer anymore.
This is morning day 2 on our rafting trip.
So we just had breakfast and we learned about the Oregon newt.
So Oregon rough-skinned newts, they actually produce a toxin on their skin. It's about 10,000 times stronger than cyanide. Oh. So if you have been searching for a way to off a loved one, maybe throw a rough-skinned newt in their water glass and see what happens.
which I did not really know. I mean, I think I've heard about that when I was a kid, but I hadn't really thought about it as an adult. So
It's
that
a
was pretty cool.
salamander.
Yeah.
Poisonous.
Yeah, so after getting 4 hours of sleep the night before, we were the last ones up because the generator didn't go off till 10 p.m. But once the generator went off, there's no other electricity in the area, so there was like no noise pollution, and it was a really great opportunity to see the stars. Not only the stars, but also the Milky Way.
Yeah, and Susie was up playing with the Leica, which is an underwater camera, but it seems to have gotten really good shots of the Milky Way. This lodge was fantastic, really good food, they're cooking, they have a great big kitchen. The setting is just really beautiful as well. Many animals are here. I saw a giant squirrel. I've never seen anything this big. So yeah, Black Bar Lodge on the Roll Rafting Adventure. Very highly recommended so far.
What's the wild cow milking contest?
I was in a banana eating contest. He's laughing behind you.
We're at Mariel Lodge, and it is a little different from, actually it's completely different from last night's arrangements because this is like motel style and it kind of feels like you're up in the trees, like in a tree house. It's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, I really like both lodges, but this one is different, so we're a bit up and now we overlook the river down. And we saw a hummingbird already upon arriving. It reminded me of the Black Rock in Belize, actually. They have that birding terrace, but this is smaller and not tropical, obviously.
We've actually seen a lot of birds today. We saw a vulture, we saw bald eagle, So further
Mostly-
down, like in this part, it feels like there's more birds.
Yeah, we definitely. Yesterday we barely saw any, and today we saw
Yeah.
many birds. And it's warmer here because we're descending, and it's southern Oregon, very close to California, so it starts getting that subtropical feel actually. And there's like a fig tree right behind us, which, funny enough, our first video on YouTube was the fig tree. And the fig is a really characteristic feature of the Mediterranean and grows all around the seas very well somehow. Dog
This
cave.
is the lodge dog named Maggie. She's very cute, but we were warned that she might have poison oak on her, so I need to remember my hand
Yeah,
and
no.
wash it thoroughly.
Yeah, this is called the Sioux Slough National Forest, and apparently there's poison oak all over it. So now we know how to tell it at least. The dog running with a big stick. It really wants to play with the guests.
Cabin 4.
Yeah. Here's the little garden. And berry bushes. Does not feel soft enough, but I'll try. It will be very sour. No.
Is it good?
It's quite good, yeah.
Yeah, hold it up.
And so here's the main lodge. The common room is on the right hand, and up are most of the rooms. Right here, very lovely setting. Our room is right above here, number 2. 6 rooms in this structure, and it's on stilts with a creek going under it, so you actually get a very pleasant creek sound in the room, and especially it's gonna be nice when we sleep. So we arrived here by paddling down the river for 2 days, but these lodges do get supplies on mountain roads, like very rugged roads, and they do get their fuel and the food and so on. So you're not completely stranded in the woods by yourself. That would be very hard to supply such an operation here. So I think right here I'm about to come up and there are cars parked. So it's kind of funny when you're floating down the river. This is protected river wilderness area, and you forget about civilization for a while. This is the longest I've been without being on the grid or having internet for a while, which is kind of sad because it's only been like 2 days. But tomorrow we'll be getting out to civilization again. Very beautiful ivy here. Nice. And here we're back on the opening towards the river. A grill.
No, in front of it.
What's in it?
Alien.
An alien? Oh, yeah. A grasshopper. But Susie's from Hawaii, so she hasn't seen one, I'm guessing. So
No, I have.
she calls it an alien. It's always funny to see my Hawaiian partner finding temperate style animals in
Oh, we had grasshoppers. It's
You
not
do?
this big, yeah.
Outer. Well,
So,
I've seen much bigger than this.
I haven't.
I was happy to start with Rogue River raft trips and back in the 80s. It's been a pleasure to be a part of introducing people to the river and what we all love and what we love about it, how it makes us feel. And thank you. It's just a number, right? And appreciate being with you guys. Thanks for being a part of it. Let me join you guys.
Lots of stuff.
on land. And yeah, we finished our last half day on the river. And it was a good day. It was actually not too hot. It was pretty cool. And the whole scenery was changing while we were on the boats. So I actually enjoyed today the most in terms of just like being in that canyon and having more of a scenic view and more opportunities to swim.
Yeah, I thought the idea was quite strong too. We hit the most paddling as well because there were more rapids in a row where you just have to power through. So it was more opportunity for an exercise. And I got on the kayak as well down the river.
So we finished our route. We got picked up at the end. Some people had their cars pulled in so that they could just drive from there, but we took a van ride about 2 hours to where we started. So we were shuttled back to Morrison's, picked up our car, and now we are headed out.
That's right, no time to waste because we're trying to see more of the area and we have only basically after 5 o'clock. And we're driving to Ashland, Oregon, on the very end of southern Oregon, where we've been told is a nice place to hang out, probably get dinner and so on. And right now we're backtracking without any map, and we're going off recollection from very early in the morning on the first day because the internet doesn't work to GPS directions, which brings me to another point. We had great time off the grid for 3 days.
Yeah, in fact, I actually had my phone. I had a waterproof casing on it, and I used it a lot, maybe the first day to take a lot of videos. But then after that, I was like, hey, you know what? The GoPro is just fine, and so is the Leica. I don't even want to deal with a third camera. So I actually put the phone away, and it was really nice just having the phone out of sight. And it's really interesting what that does to your brain, because if you don't see your phone or if it's not buzzing with notifications every 5 seconds, you just forget about your phone. So I didn't even have the urge to check Instagram, to check email, to do anything on my phone. I just totally forgot about it and just immersed in the whole experience of being outside. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it was really, really needed because we were both completely connected to the grid of all kinds when we're doing our daily jobs and businesses, and because of that, and it's kind of taken a toll. It's stressful, it's distracting and so on, and you start wondering, oh, am I really distracted by nature? It's actually not the case, because once you go to real nature, you realize that you calm down, you have proper attentions for everything, and you can think at a different pace. You can have a totally different mindset.
You feel human again in a lot of ways.
Right.
And it's really fun. And so that's one of the things about this trip. I don't know if all of the rogue trips are like this, but I think this particular region, there just is no Wi-Fi, there's no internet, so it's not even an option. You just have to have your phone off. And I think that's part of the appeal, is not being able to access your phone, not being able to be distracted by technology. You have to do things the old school way, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So I think everybody appreciated having some time away from technology.
Yeah, that is very true. The other thing was we were not lacking in anything because the trip was so well stocked and guided that we could just relax, and we had very good food and everything was really well sorted out for us. So because of that, I wonder if this was a road.
Yeah, we should maybe, let's figure out
we'll
what
pull over.
We're gonna pull over for a second.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here in downtown Ashland, Oregon, and through a basic Google search, the first main thing that we found out about this town is that it's home to the Shakespeare Festival, which when I first heard about it, I thought it was just like one day out of the year, maybe a long weekend. It ends up being 8 months out of the year. People come here for Shakespeare, which I didn't know that was still a thing, but if you like Shakespeare, come to Ashland.
For 8 months.
For 8 months.
No, but maybe it's potentially true. You're gonna do it?
No, I'm not gonna do it because last time I did that, I got sick.
We found a spring here in Ashland. We don't know if it's drinkable, but it looks made to be drunk.
Yeah, contains sodium, calcium, iron, bicarbonate, and other minerals.
It's a good temperature.
Yeah, I drank this at a spa in Italy, and I got really, really sick.
I kind of doubt that water did it, but
It didn't help.
well,